Operation Confidence proudly presents America's Invisible Heroes radio talk show. Tune in weekly on Sundays from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time with your host, Consuela Mackey, co-host, U.S. Air Force veteran Matt Davidson, announcer Taylor Marcella, U.S. Army veteran and Strategies for Hope segment host, Dr. Kathy Cash, U.S. Army Reserve veteran and entertainment segment host, Charles Whitehead, U.S. Army Special Forces veteran, and I Once Was Whole segment host, Richard Cook, U.S. Army veteran and Lifeline for Women's Veterans segment host, Martha Elena Varela, National Faith Director, Chaplain, and Veterans in Recovery segment host, Anthony Akampora, and U.S. Air Force veteran and Incarcerated to Success segment host, Kevin Lewandowski. For more information or to be a guest on our show, email info@operationconfidence.org.
Operation Confidence is a grassroots nonprofit. The organization's mission is to provide stable housing for veterans who have experienced homelessness, as well as providing a wide range of supportive services. To help accomplish our goal, a successful landowner has donated land for the project, a world-renowned architect has offered to design the houses, and construction classes from the local community colleges will take part in building the houses. Your support and donations are needed. To get involved, please visit our website at www.operationconfidence.org or email info@operationconfidence.com.
Okay, well, welcome everyone. And thank you for tuning in to America's Invisible Heroes, a show that's dedicated to our veterans and their families. Yes, I'm your host, Consuela Mackey, Executive Director of a grassroots nonprofit organization called Operation Confidence. And no, I'm not a veteran, but my heart goes out to our American heroes, especially veterans who are disabled and may have experienced homelessness. For those who are new to the show, American Invisible Heroes was established to provide a platform for our veterans and their families to share experiences, heartfelt stories, resources, and challenges. And now I'm going to turn the mic over to board member Taylor Marcella, who will introduce our guest for today. Our co-host for today.
Of course. Today we have U.S. Army Reserve veteran Charles Whitehead, U.S. Army veteran Dr. Kathy Cash with her bi-monthly segment, Strategies for Hope. We have retired U.S. Army Major Anthony Smith with his monthly segment, Can't Keep a Good Man Down. We have U.S. Army veteran Dr. Wendy Childress with her bi-monthly segment, Living Life Completely. We have Ann Montague with her bi-monthly segment of the Rosie's Movement. And lastly, we have U.S. Army veteran Roy Brown with his monthly segment, Vets to Vet Perspective. So let me tell you a little bit about Ann Montague. Ann returned to West Virginia after working in other states and internationally. She received 2 MA degrees without having to finish the BA based on professional level research, writing, and contribution. After an MA from Harvard University, she was a partner in a Boston area firm commercializing technologies. She founded a nonprofit organization that worked with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to find technologies to clean and use sediments from navigable waters. She is recognized for her good ideas and to work to bring them to reality. Her mother, a Rosie mother, and grandfather, a one-room teacher and carpenter on the C&O railroads, influenced Ann to create ways for people to do quality work cooperatively, such as the Rosie the Riveter project. Ann will speak about Miss Maisie Mullins, who just turned 99, and she is a Rosie. Maisie grew up on a West Virginia farm and riveted bombers during World War II in Akron, Ohio. She was engaged to be married to a soldier. Both got permission to go home for the wedding, but the day his leave was to start, he was killed in action. Maisie returned home to West Virginia mountains and started her life over. Eventually, she married a man she loved, and they had 7 children. Maisie helped make many decisions in the early development of the American Rosie movement, and she made quilts herself with the Rosie theme. And take it away.
Oh, thank you so much. I want to start discussing with you just a little bit about how Maisie Mullins is a typical Rosie the Riveter. And of course, none of the women are like any other woman. It's like everybody in this group, they're all individuals. But there were some commonalities in the Rosies that I did not expect when I started. And I think they are so important to America now. The most important thing is they don't want to be known for making armaments. That was important in their story and in essentially winning World War II. But what they really want to be remembered for is pulling together to do highest quality work in a spirit of cooperation in order to preserve our freedom and pass it on to the future. So that's very different than just working in factories. Another piece that's really important is that not all of them did work in factories. For example, my mother worked just inspecting lenses, but they worked in shipyards and they worked in offices. They broke codes and all that. Now back to Maisie. Maisie was 99 yesterday, and I think Charles has some photos that I want to share with you and describe to you what those are about. Can you pull those up now, Charles?
Do you have it, Taylor, or does Charles have it?
I have them. Hold on, give me a second here.
While he's doing that, I want you to know that there were several hundred people there. I mean, at least 100 people there yesterday. Many of them were relatives. The picture on the left there is what she looked like when she rented a room in Akron, Ohio. These women left their homes to go to far places they'd never been before, and that was essentially at a boarding house. We took her up there so that she could see the boarding house, and she remembered the owner and all that, Jewish woman, and it turns out it had been torn down and made into a Jewish community center. So that's what they looked like at the time. That second picture there is a close-up of her, and in a minute you'll see what she looks like today. Right there, with the woman with the dark hair looking at Maisie, that was Ann Curry when the Today Show came. Oh, wow. And essentially featured the Rosies in 2012. So now I guess Rosie, or she would have been 88 or 89 at that point. Now I'm also going to try to pull up some of my own photos that I took yesterday. Let's see if we can do that. Share screen. What happened here? I'm sorry, it looks like it's not going to work. Can you let me share a screen there, Charles, or someone?
Tiny.
I can do it.
Okay. I want to show you pictures of her today. They're so precious. So yesterday I took a dear friend with me who had never really met a Rosie. We went into real country type of setting, you know. Essentially West Virginia is really a rural state. And it took us about an hour to get there into country roads and all that. And when we got there, you tell me when it's ready. When we got there, I honestly did not expect to have more than 100 people, and almost everybody was related. So she had 7 children, and then they had passels of kids and all that. One of them married a Native American. So there was just a wonderful sense of community and family. And most of all, it was a very gentle type of gathering where they sang hymns and did a lot of just hugging of her and getting to know her. At first, I was afraid she wasn't going to be able to remember us, but I think she did. I'm trying this again now. Here we go. All right, here, just a minute. I hope this is one. Did it come up?
There's nothing to show here.
Nothing to show. Well, I saw it there, so let me try it again.
It was a black screen with nothing to show here.
Okay, just a second. I don't know why that would be. Oh, I had some wonderful photos to share with you. I hope I can. Well, here's one. It's not the best, but she helped us early on when I first started the project 15 years ago to dress a mannequin to look like the Roses. So I took that yesterday, but instead of putting on the typical wig, I put on a white wig with a bun in the back, and of course in a wheelchair. So that was kind of fun for everybody. I'm really hoping I can show you some photos of her. I didn't have time to send those to you because I just uploaded them today, Charles.
How many of them is it?
Let's try one more time, and if not, then we'll
Catch it again.
here's another one. For some reason, they're not coming up.
You have to make sure they're up before you try to share them. So if you share them before they're up on your desktop, they won't show. But if you,
it says share right now.
well, it'll say share, but if your photos aren't already like up, you know, like if you have a minimize.
You're screen sharing. And so let's try
No,
that.
but you know, like if you try to pull them up while you're sharing, they probably won't show up. You have to have them up.
So I'm so sorry, folks. Just a second.
Okay.
Well, I think maybe we'll
Email
have
them to me, and
I'm sorry, didn't hear you, Charles.
email them to me now, and then I'll get them up for you.
It's going to be difficult. Let's just wait. But let me tell you that when I showed that first picture that you pulled up today, the picture of her at the boarding house, she lighted up like you wouldn't believe. And it was like an awareness. It took her back instantly to that time. And she just kept pointing to that picture and pointing to that picture. And then there was another picture that's not coming up now of her when she was 14 years old. And when she was 14, she worked for 75 cents a week to clean a boarding house. And then when she went to Akron, Ohio, she tested and they put her into literally riveting B-26 airplanes. She's extremely proud of that. Pull up the other pictures again and let me go on with that, Charles, if you can. And now the picture there of her in the middle, if you can imagine her 11 years, that was 2012, March. So March 29th. So if you can imagine her 11 years from then, and they had a crown on her head, a small crown. And most important, what happened yesterday was going into that Nazarene church community building. It wasn't the church itself, but the community building, and seeing people from all over the country, mostly relatives, and seeing that they so honor her. And they also realize that the work that we are doing to try to get people to pull together is going to succeed if we can get people to connect. The big issue is, can we get people of different persuasions and colors and all of that sort of thing to honor these women as they should be honored. She was not only yesterday not only aware and bright and all that, but she was so loving. So one of the pictures that we're unable to pull up here was of her hugging and just looking so bright and what I would call genuine. She's a really genuine person. So for whatever it's worth, my message to all of you is that the women say, we pulled together then, we can do it again. It's our only hope. And maybe sometime later for another presentation, Charles, we can pull up the pictures that I got that day. I'd like to get her. I'd like to get her to talk with the group, but she was just exhausted today.
Well, maybe you'll bring her back next time.
Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah,
I really will try. I'm sorry we
Thank
weren't.
you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
all right.
All right. So we're moving right along here. Taylor, would you introduce Dr. Cash, although she needs no introduction, but since we're out there in radio land and streaming and all them other good podcasts, I think you should introduce her again.
I think so too. So Dr. Kathy Cash is a United States Army veteran, professor, teacher, and ministry coach with over 30 years of experience and demonstrated history of working with ministries and pastors in Southern California and around the country, skilled in peer support services, coaching and instructing peers in professional development and crisis intervention, national public speaker and webinar presenter with an emphasis on peer supporting others by instilling hope. She is certified recovery action plan facilitator and peer support group facilitator. She possesses high-level skills to educate peers in supporting others to achieve and maintain wellness in the community. Dr. Cash's guest today is Judith Welch. Excuse me. Judy is an Army veteran and a native of Buffalo, New York. She joined the Army in January 1984 after completing 3 years of college in Oneonta. There it is. I knew it. Just kidding. Oneonta, New York, where she was majoring in theater. She served 6 years as a personal record specialist stationed in Heilbronn, West Germany, and Hampton, Virginia, for the 88th MP unit. She carried her love for the stage everywhere she went. While stationed in Germany, she auditioned for a play and received her first acting award for Best Supporting Actress for the 7th Corp Tournament of Plays. She continued with acting after serving her country by performing in several church and community productions. She later relocated to Chicago, Illinois with her son, still pursuing her acting career. She was in several commercials and other stage productions. She worked on several independent film projects as well. Judy and her youngest son, Chris, decided it was time to take their careers even further. They took a leap of faith by relocating to Los Angeles in August of 2010. They drove from Chicago to LA with just $500 and their dog. They both started working in the industry right away. Judy's currently the program manager coordinator for Arts Up LA Veterans Empowerment Theater. She has completed writing her life story about growing up in foster care and will share it with us today. It's entitled Adopted, Returned, Unwanted, My Foster Care Journey. Dr. Cash, welcome. Judy, welcome. But before we start this segment, Dr. Cash, could you lead us in a short prayer?
Thank you so much, Taylor. Good afternoon, everyone, and shall we bow? Father God, how we say thank you for the blessings of this day. We thank you that we're able to continue serving as we have once served. And we just thank you for just being good to us. We ask your blessings upon each individual, and we ask your blessings upon us collectively. And we just thank you for being God and God all by yourself. You've answered our prayers. You've taken us on this journey. You've accompanied us in this journey, and you have never left us. So we thank you and we praise you in your mighty, matchless name. Amen, amen, amen.
Yeah.
Amen. All right. Thank you.
So many of you may recognize Judy. She was a guest here about a year ago. And when she was here, she told us about this fantastic book that she was writing. And I love it when people are at their word, when they keep their word. She said, Kathy, since you asked me, I will be back when my book is published. So on March 8th, this past Wednesday, when the clock struck 12 noon, the book was released. And we are so overjoyed to have her here with us today. And again, the title of her book, Adopted, Returned, Unwanted, My Foster Care Journey. So welcome, Judy. Thank you so much for being here. Tell us about the book. What does this title mean? You know, people write books. We know it's your autobiography, but tell us about specifically why this title.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for giving me this platform. And yes, Kathy, I promised you, I said, you will get the first interview. And I am a woman of my word. So that's why I'm here today. And so I really thank you. The title of my book, Adopted, Returned, Unwanted, My Foster Care Journey, is a memoir of my life story. I was given up for adoption at birth. And I went to a Caucasian couple had adopted me, I should say. And when I was about 7 months old, they realized, because, okay, I am biracial. So when I was born with blonde hair, blue eyes, and very white. And a couple had adopted me. He was a dentist. So my birth mother felt that, okay, this family would be able to take care of me really well. But like I said, when I was 7 months old, they realized, you know, she's not what we expected or what we thought. Okay, I'm going to be nice about it. And so they put me in an orphanage. And the name that they gave me, they took it back. Wow. So I was 7 months old in this orphanage, a nameless baby.
Oh my.
And the orphanage looked at my birth certificate and named me after my mom, my birth mom. And my name is Judith Mary Levacy. And at 8 months old, I was put in a foster home in Buffalo, New York, with both of my foster parents are Black. And they took in 23 foster children throughout the years, but there are 6 of us that stayed with them from toddlers or babies until, you know, we're grown. And 5 of us are, and 6 of us, 5 of us are biracial. And I talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I write in my book that I don't understand why 2 people that hate white people so much would take in half white kids. We all went through a lot of mental and physical abuse. And so it's just that it's through my eyes where I'm telling the story as I saw it growing up. And so I talk about my other siblings and the abuse that I witnessed that all of them went through as well. When I turned 17, I wanted to find my birth family. But I was told by my foster mom that, oh, you don't want to do that because you can break up somebody's home. You're going to be fine right where you are. You don't need to know that. But when someone tell me that I don't need to do this, and I know deep down inside, this is what I want to do, what am I going to do?
Okay.
Going for it.
I'm going to go for it. So my book entails the 42 years of finding my birth family.
Wow.
And I kept asking, when I processed for the military, that's when I saw my birth certificate for the first time. I was 22. And I went through the telephone book looking for all the Levacies that I could find. And there were a couple of them in there. So I called one, and that happens to be my mom's brother. And which led, I don't want to tell the story, but it led to finding my mom. And after a conversation with her, And then it led to me continuing to search. Even though I went to the military, I came back and I was in Hampton, Virginia, and I went to HU because I knew they had a jazz radio station, because what I knew was my mom told me that my dad played drums for Grover Washington Jr. and his name was Billy. So years and years and years of searching, like I said, I don't want to give the ending of it, but I was able to find my dad. I was able to discover through ancestry that I have other siblings as well. And I discovered that in 2019.
Right. I remember you were sharing that you were having reunions with some of your siblings.
Right. And I was finally able to see and meet with my siblings in Texas last year. And I talk about how I was able to go back to Buffalo and meet. I attended my my maternal sister's wedding, and the surprise when I walked in, the surprise when everyone was asking, "Well, who are you?" And I said, "Oh, I'm Judy. I'm Julie's sister." And the look on people's faces was like, it was
like the scene on Eddie Murphy's movie when he walked in that bar.
Exactly. And it was so amazing. But I want to say that I have 3 families. I have on my mom's side, I have on my dad's side, and I have my foster care family. But I will say this, I do not communicate with my foster mom. I had a son that passed away.
Oh.
He was 22 years old, and he died of a heart attack.
Oh.
And
that's so young.
Yeah, he died of it. He was overweight. And what really prompted me to one of the things that prompted me to write this book was when my foster mom was telling people that I killed my son.
Are you serious?
And that is one of the most hurtful things anyone can say to you. She's still alive. She lives in Hampton, but I do not communicate with her whatsoever. I have been threatened for writing this book. That's why some names will be changed to protect the guilty, or has been changed to protect the guilty. There are some of my siblings all the way around that said, "Oh yes, Judy, please use my name and don't forget the movie." And I'm like, okay, because I have been told, this is a movie, right? Several people have told me that. I said, yes, I understand. So I just want to say that I do have the best of like 3 worlds. My foster family, there's a couple of us that still keep in touch. And I love them dearly, and I don't discount them as being my sister or my brother, because they are. We may not be biologically, but we are in spirit and in heart.
Wow.
That's such a wonderful story. And that's all in the book, right?
Yes, all of this is in the book. I didn't, like I said, I didn't want to go into detail because I don't want to tell the book what the book is about. But I've been wanting to write this book, and it took me 3 years to write. The reason why it took so long was when I got to the part about the writing about the physical and mental abuse, it was weighing on me. And it was heartfelt, and I was getting angry. I was getting upset, so I had to stop to gather my thoughts and ask and just pray to God and ask him to just help me through this, just like he has helped me down through the years to survive. I am a survivor of the foster care system. And I want people to understand or to know what can happen, or what may happen if you give your child up, if you put your child in foster care, or even for people that are in the system, the people that work for child protective services. What can happen when you take a child away from their mother or their father? And you know, some people can't help it, because one thing I want people to understand throughout my book, my biological mother, she did what she felt was necessary for her. I do not dislike her. She knows that. I spend a lot of time, and in the book, it's just, it's real. My relationship with her now, it is wonderful. I love her. She loves me. And it's like the tables have turned from my foster mother to my biological mother. And
Wow.
I love it. And for somebody to tell me you don't need to know where you came from, you know, everybody needs to know
That's
what
right.
the background is. And I really think, I don't know if I can say this, the DNA program that's out there, I know there's quite a few of them, right? But I really thank them, because they helped me. That system helped me discover where I belong.
Right.
Now I know where I belong.
How long were you in the military?
6 years.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
6 years. I want to say my 6 years were active duty and reserve combined. Those 6 years. I was, I had basic in AIT at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. And they wanted me to stay and teach the first 3 weeks of my MOS, because I scored 999 out of 1,000. And they wanted me to stay and teach it, right? And they said, well, there's only, I agree. And they said, but there's only one thing that can stop is if you get your orders for overseas. And sure enough, my orders came for 261st Personnel Company in Heilbronn, West Germany. So
what
I was
MOCs. A lot of us are not
military occupational specialty, MOS.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely your job.
Yes, your job. Basically.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yes. Well, congratulations, sweetheart. Give us I think you have a flyer or something that we can post on the website.
Yes, I do. It's actually behind me, but I will be able to send that to you. And I can also put in the website where you can order my book as well, and the QR code and everything. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Okay. I think I sent that to you.
Did you?
I think so. But what I wanted to ask, what I also want her to share, when you look at the book, how often do you see a book with bright colors like that? And there's a purpose, there's a reason for those colors. So could you share why those colors?
Yes, if you look at my book cover, it is pink and green, and people are asking me, are you AKA? And I'm like, no, I'm not. But I want to say, when you look at the book cover, pink is my favorite color. I have on pink. So pink is my favorite color. The silhouette of me, all you see is my mouth, because we were never seen or heard. That's why you don't see any ears or nose. We were never seen or heard. The green stands for the money. All we were in that particular home, and this is everywhere, we were nothing but money.
Right.
They looked at us not as human beings. We were looked upon as money. They used to always say, well, we're only getting $2.35 a day for you, but you have a whole house full of people. Not only that, the state was paying for other things as well. And when each of us turned 12, we were put out in the field to work with the migrant workers.
Wait a minute, hold up. What field? Where?
This is in Buffalo. This is in the country part of Buffalo.
And there was no child labor laws or anything?
We, at 12 years old, we were put out. They actually had working papers. We had working papers.
Really?
What were you guys working on? What kind of field was it?
It could be like picking strawberries, digging up potatoes and carrots, and no cotton though, because this is.
I know about cotton. Cold up there.
Right, and all of our money I wouldn't say the name. My foster mother took all of our money, and all this is in the book. We never had we never grew up with anything new, other than when my grandmother for Easter, she would buy us Easter clothes, new Easter clothes from the store that she worked at. That's why I would never ever go to a secondhand store. I just
enough stuff, huh?
Well, God bless you. Wow. You're a superwoman now. Do you mentor to other kids or young adults in the system?
You know what?
Then I'll let you go. We have to move on, but I know. Hear that
you know what? I'm trying to, and that's why all you see is my mouth on the cover, because I learned to speak up, and I have to speak up and speak out.
Right.
You know, and I there are people that have asked me. So far, I've had a couple of people asking me, "Hey, can you come and speak to our youth group? Because there's so many other people that are like you." And yes, I am open for speaking engagement. Yes, I am.
Oh yeah, that'd be important.
And the last question before we go, in light of your book and the experiences that you've had over the last 3 years in writing your book, and then your life experience altogether, what does hope look like to you?
Hope is faith. Hope is trusting and believing in God, no matter what it looks like. Always remember, God is still in control. And sometimes when I look like I'm at my darkest moments, I think back on things that God has brought me through before when I didn't think there was any hope. And just like he brought me through that, he will continue to bring me, you, and everyone else through whatever the circumstances. I never allow a circumstance to take over me. I take over the circumstance.
There you go, girl.
Right.
Yay.
Thank you so much. Thank
so
you
inspirational. You go, girl. We're so proud of you.
Buy my book, everybody. I'm trying to make the New York Times bestseller.
All right. Is it on Amazon now?
Not yet. It will be. Yes, not yet.
That's
so great. Also, did you know that Amazon takes 55% of the profit?
Do they? Oh my God.
So I'm trying to even though we'll be on Amazon, I'm trying to have it, people just order through the QR code or just go through our website, the website for the company.
Right.
And what's the website? Can you say the website for us?
Yes. The website is kp-pub.com. That's kp-pub.com. That's KP Publishing Company. And her name is Willa Robinson. She's amazing.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. God bless each and every one of you.
My pleasure. I'd like to get in touch with her. I'm writing my family book as well.
Okay. All right.
So
she would love that.
Text me her email me or text me her information. Dr. Cash has my contact. If she hasn't forwarded, you forward her the script, right?
No, but I get it. I'll get it. I'll get you guys connected.
Great. Okay. Thank you. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're moving right along here. We have Dr. Wendy Childress. Taylor?
Yes, we do. Dr. Wendy Childress is a retired Army chaplain, having served in the Army and the California Army National Guard. She has served as an associate pastor and worked in the nonprofit sector in various capacities for over 15 years. Dr. Wendy is a life coach, founder of Living Life Completely, LLC, and co-founder of 5-2 Love, an organization she and her daughter founded to empower, edify, encourage, and educate African American women. Dr. Childress' guest today is Navy veteran Dr. Andress Walker, Petty Officer 3rd Class. Before we start with your segment, Wendy, could you lead us in another prayer? Because we cannot have too many.
That's right.
Thank you, Taylor. And just one correction, that's 52 Love is how that's pronounced.
Sorry, 52 Love.
No, that's okay. And after I pray, I'll give a little background before I get into my guest. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day, and we give you all the honor, praise, and glory because you alone are worthy. And Father, I just want to lift up all the women, not negating the man, but in honor of this Women's History Month, I want to lift up the women who are often overlooked, underserved, forgotten, and abused, Lord. I just want to lift them up and let them know that you see them, we see them, and that they are valuable and capable. And Father, we just ask that you be with us and look over each and every one of us and guide us along your path. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. And just so you know, 52 Love is named, we named that in honor of my parents who were married for 52 years. So that's where we came up with the name for 52 Love.
Beautiful.
And my guest is Dr. Andress Walker, who I'm actually have known for some years. And I was talking to her mother just a few days ago, actually, and I forgot Andress was a veteran. And when now
I'm gonna stop you. It's Andress.
Andress, and you're right, and I know that. Thank you. And I forgot Andress was a veteran. And I said, oh, wait a minute, Andress. And not only is Andress a veteran, for me, she's the only one the only female I know that's gone into the Navy. So it's like, I need to bring Andress on. Having said that, I will tell you about Dr. Andress Walker. She is an educator in the community college and private university systems. She is and has been a professor of accounting and business for over 10 years, with more than 20 years of experience in the accounting and business, in accounting and business and in the private sector. She proudly served America in the United States Navy for 12 years. Dr. Walker now educates and provides accounting and business consultation to a diverse clientele, including medical professionals, business executives, business owners, and nonprofit organizations. She earned her BA in Business and Organization Studies from Pitzer College. She has an MBA from the University of Phoenix and a doctoral degree in accounting from Walden University. Andress, and thank you for coming on as my guest. And if you could please share a little bit about your service in the Navy, because again, you're the only woman I know personally who went to the Navy. I wouldn't have done it. So please share.
Well, they say that when you're looking for quality of life, you will choose the Navy and the Air Force. If that's more of your concern when you're joining the military.
Backing folks around already.
So, no, but thank you for thinking about me, and it is a pleasure to be here, and I appreciate you all having me. I am very, very grateful.
Yes.
As Wendy said, I spent 12 years in the military, 4 years active duty, 8 years reserve. I also went Fleet Marine Force, and I was recalled during my reserve time for Desert Storm. And I joined the Navy straight out of high school. Mm-hmm. My brother did not like the people that I was hanging out with, so he scooped me up one day. He took me to the recruiting station. He said, pick one, because you're going. You're not staying here. So, because I am a water baby and I love the water, I chose the Navy.
Okay.
Yes, and in the Navy, the difference between the other branches of service and the Navy is that in the Navy, we don't call it MOS, we call it a rate. So our occupation and what we do in our ranking is called a rate versus an MOS.
Okay, I never heard of that. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. In the Navy, my rate was dental technician, 3rd class. So I was petty officer, 3rd class, Walker in the rate of dental technician. And I don't know if you guys hear a lot of people say this, but I enjoyed my time in the military. I enjoyed all of my time in the military. I did. I was stationed stateside for all 12 of my years. And that was one of the reasons why I got out, is because I had to take a ship or go overseas. And I was a single parent and did not trust anybody to watch my child. Wow. So I left the military. And in doing that, when I left the military, I stayed where I was stationed for maybe about a year or so. And I tried to do dentistry on the civilian side versus the military side. Totally different. So I left that profession really quickly. Okay. And my support system was in California. So I picked up and moved from Maryland back to California. And my mother had a tax and accounting practice at the time. And so I started doing taxes and learning accounting and discovered that I was really good at accounting.
Okay.
And I liked it. So I said, okay, so since we're going to make this a career, let's put some paper behind it. And I went to West Los Angeles College. I got my AA in accounting. And then I was at church one Sunday, and this lady named, I will never forget her. She was the catalyst for a major turning point in my life. Her name is Jerry D. Moshe. And she came to our church and she talked about a college opportunity if you wanted to finish your, do your 4-year degree. And it was a special program that Pitzer offered called a New Resources Program, because I couldn't live on campus. A part of the program was that you could not live on campus. And they gave me money to go to school and finish my degree. So it took me like 2.5 years to finish up my bachelor's degree. And then when I discovered my purpose in life, when God showed me my purpose in life, and that it was teaching and educating people, I said, okay, Lord, that's cool, but I'm not teaching K through 12. Not going to do it.
Challenge, yes.
I'm not going to do that. And I think it was more so of a challenge. It's more of a challenge with the parents from K through 12 than it is with the actual children themselves.
That's so true.
Yes. So I knew that I did not want to deal with people's parents. So I said, okay, we're going to teach on the college level. And I knew that in order to do that, I had to have a master's degree. So I was hemming and hawing back and forth until she's a good friend of mine to this day. This lady named Yvette Stott. She called me. She said, I'm not playing with you. Your classes start on May the 30th, so you need to be there.
All right.
And this is your schedule. I was like, okay, Lord, I guess we're really doing this thing. And so that's how I came to get my BA and started teaching. And the other piece that I was working at Northrop Grumman as a contract closeout accountant, and I was sitting at the desk, and this is when God showed me what my gift was. I said, Lord, I cannot come in here from 9 to 5 o'clock, no more. I cannot do this every day. I need to be in a position where I interact with people every single day, and I can make a difference and I can make an impact. And I also need to have flexibility. And God answered just like that. And it was teaching. Wonderful. So I was like, thank you, Jesus.
Yes. And I can relate to that because I'm not a 9 to 5er either. Have never been.
Neither have I.
12. I was 12 years old. I told my best friend, it's like, I'm not working for anybody for 30 years. It's just not it's not my makeup. And I can remember one day sitting at a desk working, and I called one of my girlfriend. I said, you know what? I know why the caged bird sings, because they want to be free. So, yes. So, Andress, and no, some people have wonderful careers in the military. Some do, and many don't. And I'm glad to hear that you actually enjoyed all your time in the Navy, because I don't, because you didn't go on that ship. That's why. Because I've had the opportunity to tour one of the ships when they came in San Pedro, and it's like I would go stark raving mad being out at sea on those ships. So it sounds like your transition, though, from military, and especially since you went in right after high school, well, since your brother told you you have this, you didn't have a choice. Yes. It seems like your transition was actually rather easy, and because your mom had her own business going, you were able to walk right into that. So now you now have your own accounting business that you are doing
Yes.
as well as.
Yes. So doing that with my mom, I went to go do accounting for other people for a while in the entertainment industry. And that was cool. I did that for like 5, almost 6 years. And of course, everything has its advantages and disadvantages. So I was seeing all this money flowing from these entertainers, producers, and NFL and NBA players. I said, I'm tired of paying other people's bills. And looking at all the money they have in their bank accounts. I said, it's time for me to go get mine.
So now, what is the name of your accounting service?
It's AW and Associates, and my tagline is finance with a personal touch, because I don't want to be so big that I cannot service my client myself.
Okay.
Because that's the personal touch. So not only do I service them with the services that they need, but I also, again, educate my clients. So that whatever business realm they are in, they are familiar, will always be familiar with the conversation and at least have knowledge of what people are talking about. They don't go in blind, because I've had so many people come to me, they talking about financial statements and I have no clue what they're talking about. And that's one reason why I don't want to get too big, because I still want to always be able to educate my clients as well as service my clients. That's the most important thing to me, is that they have the knowledge and that they know.
And Andress,
yes.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I didn't mean to.
Okay.
I think you have two firsts for me. You were the first, and you're still the first and only person, female, and especially on top of that, African-American female that I know that served in the Navy. And I think you are, maybe I don't know this, but I think you're the only one that I know that has a doctoral degree in accounting. I don't think I knew that existed.
I don't know anybody who has a doctoral degree in accounting.
And I actually had never heard of. Yes. So in honor of Women's Month, you are history in the making, because you're doing it. You're doing the thing. Yes.
A hero.
Yes, she's a shero.
A shero.
Yes.
I think it's absolutely wonderful what you do.
God is so awesome, because he's just orchestrated this whole thing for me. And as I was telling a few of the ladies prior to everybody coming on, I lived in California for over 50 years, and then I moved back to where I was born, which is Tennessee. And so I've been here a little over a year and a half now, and God had me make this move. Because, and I laugh because my mom says, oh gosh, now you're a real estate mogul, because I was able to come here and get several pieces of property and start doing real estate investment.
Okay.
So I do that as well too. And I'm looking within the next 6 to 9 months to actually build my first of property. So I'm excited about that. So I do real estate investing as well, and I'm in the process of getting my real estate license.
That's so beautiful.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Well, Dr. Childress, I'd like to be able to, Dr. Walker, I'd like to send you some information about Operation Confidence and what we're doing, because we can sure use your support. Dr. Childress already know what we're doing, and our main goal is to be able to provide stable housing for our veterans, especially those who are disabled and have experienced homelessness. So I really want to share with you what we're doing, and hopefully to get your involvement and support. I know you're a girl, but I still need to be educated, and I think you're one of the sheroes that I should reach out to.
I think so too.
My long-term goal for for the next 5 years or within the next 5 years is I want to have homeless shelters.
Right.
Because God has given me a heart for homeless people.
Yeah, that's me as well.
Yeah, and I want to have at least 2 homeless shelters where people don't have to come in and worry about paying anything. They will be fully funded by the government.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I
I'm
got to
going
share
to make
with you
sure of that.
the direction God has sent me in, and
Yes.
I think people such as yourself is a blessing that I can be able to share what we're doing and get your support as well. But I thank you so much for coming on the show.
And
You
yes,
are so
Andress,
welcome.
I thank you
Yes.
for being my guest, and
Oh,
I thank
you
you
are
for all
welcome.
your work,
Oh,
all
God,
your
yeah.
first and all your work. And
Mm.
Connie, I just want to say this before you transition to the next guest and co-host. As Taylor mentioned, 52 Love is an organization I co-founded with my daughter, and it is to encourage, uplift, and edify African American women because we are overlooked, underserved, discarded, and all of the above. And
Right.
I just would like to put out the information. If you know of anyone, if you want to donate and help us with what we do with wanting to clothe women in need and help women in need, you can go to our website, which is 52 Love. That is www.FIFTYTWOLOVE.com, and check out what we're doing. So I just wanted to put that out there since it's Women's History Month, and
Right.
thank you
have
very
a flyer
much.
next time?
You know what? Yes, I will send you something.
Okay, great. 'Cause
It's
we put that on our
50
website as well.
52 Love, FIFTYTWO love.com.
Correct.
Okay, all right. And I just want to thank you all for having me because it's 6 o'clock on my side of the world.
Okay.
And
And you got
I have
to go.
yeah, I have to eat
Thank
before
you.
7 o'clock. So
Thank you, Dr. Walker. God bless what you're doing.
May I ask?
Let me ask her real quick.
Yes.
If we need your accounting services, you have a website or something we can email?
I'm going to drop it in the chat for you right now.
Thank you. Thank
Great.
you.
Okay, thank you.
Ann has a
Thank
question.
you.
I think
Okay.
Ann is reaching out to you, Ann.
Yeah, I'd like to know where you are right now. What town?
I am in Cleveland, Tennessee.
And is that
Doggy.
that's east of Nashville?
It's south of Nashville.
That's south of Nashville.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm 30 minutes north of Chattanooga and 2 to 2.5 hours south of
So
Nashville.
you're southeast of Nashville. Okay.
Yes.
Good enough. All right. I'll be
Great.
down that way soon. So I wanted to know where you are. Okay. Thank
Yes, ma'am.
We're looking for you in the chat.
Okay.
Yes, I dropped my email in the chat, so you
I
can
see
email
it.
me anytime and I always respond.
Thank you so much.
God bless
You
you.
guys have a blessed day and thank you so much.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
you go
Go ahead
on-
and enjoy your dinner.
Yeah.
But before you go, let's make sure the radio listeners know that email, because of course they're not going to see chat.
That's
So
exactly right.
This is a whole, I'm so sorry. If you need any accounting or tax services, or you're looking to develop your business, you can email me at AW, the word and, AND, and the word associates, ASSOCIATES at yahoo.com. That's AW and associates at yahoo.com.
all righty.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Charles.
Thank you so much.
All right,
God
you guys
bless you.
have an amazing day.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, coming on down, Charles, introduce our last guest for today.
Roy Brown, U.S. Army Roy Brown. Roy Brown is the founder of Vet to Vet, Greater Los Angeles 2004 a national trainer, DBSA peer specialist certification. Vet to Vet has over 30 locations across the U.S. with support groups at VA hospitals, in communities, and churches. Research done on Vet to Vet shows that facilitators of these groups tend to lead more productive lives, show less hospitalization, and ultimately become more productive to their community. Vet to Vet has been of service to over 1 million veterans and also assists veterans in their transition back to civilian life with support such as MIA, that's Mental Illness Anonymous, and Wellness Recovery, also assistance in resume writing and life skills. Partnering with mental health grassroots organizations such as VOCAL, that's Veterans of Color Action League, they're serving veterans and their families throughout Greater Los Angeles. Go ahead, Roy.
Thank you, Charles. And it's very nice to greet everybody this day. I was listening to that, and I didn't have much because I don't think we have much time. But I was going over some.
Whatever you need.
Okay. I was going over some paperwork, and I talked to a couple of people in my organizations outside of the state, and it brought to mind I had to talk to them and let them know what Vet to Vet really was. And they were telling me how they weren't getting the attention that they felt like they should have from where they're at. And it all went back to asking them, first of all, did they know our service? Which is to be an innovative way of addressing veterans' concerns where they're at, not where we're at, but where they're at. Whether they're emotional, spiritual, educational, vocational, transitional, real or present needs of them or their families. And our motto is that, like Dr. King said, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. And you don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject matter and your verb agree in order to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. And after I talked to him about that, I brought up to him this I had read something that told me about attitude. And it went a little like this. It says, the longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude to me is more important than facts. It's more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, failures, or successes. Also what other people think or say or do. It's more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a church, a community, or a home. The remarkable thing is we have choices every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play on the string we have, and that is our attitude. I'm convinced that life is 10% of what happens to me and 90% of how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in charge of our own attitudes because everybody can blame somebody when nobody does what anybody else could have done. That's my perspective of Vet to Vet for this week. Thank you, Charles.
So cool. That is absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much for that information. That's deep, huh, Dr. Childress?
Yes, it is. And I like the end, right? We all sit around waiting for somebody else to do it. If we don't do it, then who, right?
That's right.
Right.
Yes, I love it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We want you back, sir, so you can continue on with our information about attitude.
Okay.
All right, Charles, it's on you.
So we're not
No,
Anthony.
it's not.
Okay.
Anthony has been detained.
Okay. Well, let's go on and talk about American corporate partners and how they connect with veterans with top companies to help them attain a job after their time of service. The program also provides one-on-one mentoring and other career development services. American Corp, just called ACP, is a national nonprofit organization focused on helping returning vets and active duty spouses find their next careers through one or more mentoring, networking, and online career advice. More than 1 million veterans are expected to transition from the armed forces to civilian life over the next 5 years. ACP engages the American people in a unique volunteer opportunity to provide career guidance to returning military as they transition back into civilian life. They believe that the biggest issue facing our returning service members is not unemployment, it's underemployment. And you know my story about how I feel about going into the military. You can't go in and go jump in as a tree watcher and then get out of the military and expect to find a job doing that.
Right. What'd you call it, Charles? A tree watcher?
Tree watcher, you know, my job in the military is I sat and I watched trees, but when I got home,
Are you serious? I mean,
no,
what were you
I'm
doing?
just saying this is I'm being extreme about this.
Oh, okay. They really have
I sold Connie a bill of sale right there. So anyway.
Yeah, you did. I thought it was actually a tree watching department.
No, so my point is, don't go into the military because this happens. A lot of this, and I'm off script now. This happens a lot. The people go into the military because the military don't treat or to give you, they don't inform you of all of the things that you really can do and can be and what you will be if you get out when you go to civilian life. And so
Right.
you go in, and so I use this example. It's just like, don't go expect to, be a tree watcher in the military and then get out and go find a job doing it. Unless you sit in somebody's garden. Unless you sit in somebody's garden,
Right.
So anyway, let me get back to, so,
Okay.
and that's why I say underemployment. ACP focuses on helping veterans and active duty spouses and find meaningful employment opportunities and develop their long-term careers. And the history of the founder is Sidney E. Goodfriend. He launched the American Corporate Partners on Labor Day 2008 with the help of 6 founding corporate partners who provided funding to ACP and volunteer mentors. By the end of 2009, ACP had paired 500 returning veterans with mentors. In November 2018, ACP announced it is expanding its reach and opening its program to the active duty spouse community. That's nice. Currently, ACP has more than 4,000 veterans and active duty spouses paired one-on-one with mentors from more than 100 of America's top companies, universities, and hospitals. Since its founding, ACP has focused on expanding its number of corporate partners, reaching out to a larger number of returning military and designing several new programs and initiatives to help an increasing number of veterans, of service members, I should say, returning veterans and their families. The programs they have, ACP now connects veterans with business leaders in a variety of ways beyond its original corporate mentoring program. Now they have Women's Veteran Mentoring Program. It was launched in 2016 and it connects female veterans with female entrepreneurs and business leaders for year-long mentorships. Women veterans have access to exclusive networking events and career developments in that workshop. ACP has an advisor net. As ACP Advisor Net is an online career Q&A community designed to assist in increasing number of veterans and current service members with networking and career advice. ACP has an active duty spouse program, which was launched in 2018, and it connects spouses on installations nationwide with business leaders for customized mentorships. There are more than 24,000 vets and spouses have successfully who have successfully completed the ACP program. For more information, contact American Corporate Partners, or ACP. They're at 2 Grand Central Tower, 140 East 45th Street, Suite 19A, New York, New York, 10017. That's 2 Grand Central Tower. That's the number 2 Grand Central Tower, 140 East 45th Street, Suite 19A, New York, New York, 10017. That's a lot of numbers in that address. Anyway, the general information and assistance, you can call them at 212-752-0700. Again, 212-752-0700. And you can go to info@acp-usa.org. That's info@acp-usa.org. Taylor?
Great information.
Mm-hmm.
Take it away, Taylor.
On a regular basis, I will share information on Operation Confidence's history to make sure that it is documented on all of our podcasts. Today, I would like to share a video about Operation Confidence historical event, a tribute to our disabled veterans, held at the historical Los Angeles Sports Arena in 2011. Operation Confidence Vice President Matt Davison co-hosted the event, and board member Charles Whitehead was interviewed by NBC. So I will share that with you now.
You have that I emailed you?
I do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They put their lives on the line for our country, but many veterans struggle to find work when they get home, especially.
Can you turn the sound up?
Today, a job fair showcased opportunities for some of our nation's heroes. NBC4's Andy Adler reports.
I'm sure you heard stories in the past about soldiers coming home and they wounded and they missing a limb. I mean, I served 2 tours in Iraq and I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, we've heard those stories before. And when Lynette Jones came back from serving in Iraq, she too, like most vets, struggled to find work. But today was all about making things a little easier for those who fight for our country. Okay, so I'm looking at this sign. JOBS, that is a good word, and that is exactly why you're here.
That's right. We're here to promote our company because we're looking for salesmen and salespeople to really help them get ahead in their life.
Everything from jobs in sales to jobs serving our cities.
It's a police department and a fire department. They understand the teamwork, they understand the concept. So we're very excited. We're working with the vets to get them on the job.
It's called Operation Confidence, and today they transformed the LA Sports Arena into an arena of opportunity, with over 100 companies looking to hire.
The government's trying to do their best, but America needs to step out as people, individuals, and come out and say, hey, one day, you know what, I can come out and support the veterans.
What you're saying essentially is, Veterans Day was last week, but that's irrelevant.
Yes, it's Veteran Day every day, because they don't take off a day and say, you know what, today I'm not going to fight for my country because I want the day off. It should be every day.
And veterans, they seem to agree.
You have 116 vendors to know that, hey, I can come out here, I can find the resources, maybe I can find an opportunity that may lead to a job as well.
So there are resources here, and the people need to know when this type of operation happens, this is what you want to see, this is what you want to be at, and the word needs to get out as much as possible, via Twitter, internet.
Good point, Mr. Whitehead. And you can get more information about today's job fair on our website, NBCLA.com. I'm Andy Adler, NBC4 News.
Okay, well, you got a chance to see a little bit of our history. We've been busy through the years.
Mm-hmm.
But Charles, you're going to have a funny clip, and we're going to have Taylor to close us down, and we're going to thank our guest speakers and, of course, our co-hosts for such an amazing show. Take it away, Taylor.
I think that's Charles with the funny clip.
I'm sorry, Charles, and then we're going to go to Taylor to close us out.
Okie dokie.
You have a funny clip?
I got a funny clip, you know, it's the one you sent me, so I'm gonna show it today. And so,
Okay.
So don't, you know, you can't smack me around today on this one.
Okay.
Don't hold it against you, huh, Charles?
There you go.
I got you.
Let's see. Here we go, right here.
That's pretty good.
That's
cute.
For all you listeners, that was a dog that uses the toilet and doesn't.
Yeah, and still held his baby in the basket. Okay, Taylor.
So before Miss Connie closes the show, we would like to encourage our viewers and listeners to visit Operation Confidence resource page for some amazing resources. Also, we would like to inform everyone about Operation Confidence Positive Redirection Team, the group of male and female veterans who are mentors having overcome similar challenges and situations transitioning back into mainstream society. To become a member, email us at info@operationconfidence.org. We are also excited to introduce Operation Confidence Combat Boots and Lace Women's Veterans Mentoring and Creative Arts Group, and Operation Confidence Distinguished Male Veterans Mentors and Dress for Success Modeling Group. To get involved, email info@operationconfidence.org. Again, info@operationconfidence.org. Zoom meetings will take place the first Saturday of the month.
Okay, well, as always, we want to remind our viewers that our goal for the show is to raise awareness about Operation Confidence and its mission, which is to provide stable housing for our veterans with a wide range of supportive services. So to get involved, please send us to go to our website, info@operationconfidence.org, or send us an email to Send us an email at info@operationconfidence.org, or visit our website at www.operationconfidence.org. And we want to, please don't forget to subscribe to our American Invisible Heroes. We have our own YouTube channel. And to date, it was 120, now it's 120, over 121,000 views. So we're really excited about how fast we're growing. And we want to ask our viewers and our listeners, you know, our mission is to provide houses for our veterans, especially those who are disabled and homeless. So if you send us $1 or more for our Teeny House Project, we sure appreciate that. Go to our website, once again, operationconfidence.org, and go to the donation link and send us whatever you can. In closing, Operation Confidence Invisible Heroes is also streaming on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, as well as Amazon, iHeart, Stitcher, and Twitch. So in closing, we want to thank our amazing guests and always our co-hosts, and we'll be back next week. And we want to thank you again, and goodbye.
All right. Let me
want to close us out with the closing.
Right. Thanks so much. Goodbye.
Closing video. Here we go.
Charles, his signature goodbye.
All right.
Bye-bye, everyone. See you next week.
Alrighty.
All right.